Hi, Taurus, and welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive. What we're going to do is do a timeless read for you, and this has to do with your life purpose. And hopefully, this will give you some insights because I know a lot of us are kind of sifting and sorting and kind of going through an inventory of what that really looks like for us now. Perhaps we're changing priorities and maybe determining what we want long term, and we have some choices, or we're being presented with that based on the things that are happening in our world. So I thought I would go ahead and talk about your life purpose. We'll to go ahead and talk about what you're passionate about, what your talents are, and then how to combine them, and some of the best advice in terms of doing that. So this will be a general read, but again, it is timeless. And if you're looking for a personal read that taps into your own life purpose, career, and business energies, then you definitely want to go to the Guided Intuitive up here, or in my description box below. For those of you that want to take it a step further and want to really move forward and take the steps and the physical steps in order to make your life purpose and dream come true, then you definitely want to book a discovery session, I should say, up here. Well, lots of words here today. Book a discovery session up here or my description box below. All right. So let's jump into this and let's see what is in store for you. So we're going to start here with your current passion. So what you're currently passionate about right now. Okay. So let's dive into this for you and see what's going on. What do we have? Oh, interesting. Okay, gotcha. So what we've got here in terms of what you're passionate about, and this is about knowing that every problem has a solution. And this is really great because what I see here, Taurus, is that you're like the engineer. Okay, so you're playing like the engineer. You kind of know what fits together, and you're kind of putting all the pieces together, and you're really good at being able to really be productive and really be technical. But you've got that curiosity about yourself too, which is really, really beautiful. Very competitive and competent, but then also very hardworking. So this really is about being very analytical and being very determined. So that's what I see in terms of the engineer. Now, this is in terms of your passion, okay? And when I see this, this is exactly what it is that you really would like to see yourself do. And this is one of the things that you're really passionate about. Now, your talents will come a little bit later that we'll jump right into, but I kind of wanted to get into the nuts and bolts of things. No pun intended, okay? But I do see that there is some sort of deep passion, as it pertains to this. So this is really, really beautiful, okay? Nice. All right. So, and then what I also see too is that there is kind of like there is a dark side to this. So and you can kind of see that there is a little bit of darkness in between there. You notice that you're acting on your shadow side. And it's particularly when you might be a little aggressive or over analytical. So you know that you're acting on your shadow side when that happens. So as the engineer, and in terms of your passions, if you come a little bit of self-judging and negative, or kind of it just moves to your dark side if you become a little arrogant in that. So what you want to do obviously is move to that shadow side of yourself, which is really that you are the channel for discovery and showing people that there is a better way, and that is what you do. And this is saying it's very much about even being creative as well as being competent to be able to do this. So it's very, very beautiful. It is making things tick. It's all about just kind of coming up with a better solution, and even in terms of life's solutions, coming up with a better engineering on what that looks like. Okay, so I think for the most part, one of the beautiful things is that you are just almost like shifting and sorting. You're kind of like the master of energy, and a lot of you might be energy healers, but it's actually about the energy being productively channeled for the most part. And that's exactly what I see, being able to do that and manifest, perhaps what is the best leader for a team, and you can manifest what that would look like, so to speak. And that's kind of what I feel. So this is really beautiful. It's spiritually aligned too. So your ability to really create abundance and really prosper, especially on the material plane. And so we look up, a lot of us look up to you in terms of that. In some respect, of course, a lot of us, when we need help with that, what better person to come to? So that's what it looks like. Is you kind of create that groundedness. Okay. So this is about being grounded and attuned to your energies to manifest and to teach others to manifest what they want on the physical plane. So this is really, really beautiful. Now, when you're stressed, you can become a little bit of negative and a little bit of perhaps even self-sabotaging. So just note that that's when you are kind of operating a little below on the shadow side. But some of your really high, beautiful gifts and kind of your high valued gifts in terms of your passions here, is that you are a problem solver, a hard worker. You are very technical, but also a gifted designer. Okay. And you really can get into that critical thinking when a lot of us can't get there. And so that's what's coming into play. This is your talent. Okay. This is your passion. And what we're going to move to now is what your talent is and see what wants to come up for you. Okay. So let's see what that looks like. Whoa. All over the place. Okay. Let's do this again. Okay. What does that look like for you here? Let's take a look. I'm kind of turning things off and making sure my computer's going crazy. I gotta shut it off here. Sorry guys, I just gotta make sure the volume's down. I don't want it to jump off. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So let's take a look at what your talents are. What are your talents here? What does that look like for you here? Okay. Let's take a look at what that is. We've got, ooh, nice. Okay, so what we've got here is you bring light, the awareness of light to others. And this is about being the messenger. Okay. So when I get this card, this tells me that you're very, very perceptive and you're very progressive in terms of your thinking. So these are some of your talents. Okay. Very, very intellectual, but yet very adaptable. So, I think that's one of the really, really key things, which is quite beautiful. It's kind of like you're the messenger of light for others. If others, are kind of stuck and can't see which way to go, you are the messenger of light and kind of help them kind of lead the way. And that's exactly what I'm getting. But that is really calling on, what to do. And that's what you love to do. And that's that green color that you see here, which is all about the heart chakra. And then showing others how to be confident and how to live and learn and to lead in the light. Okay. So that's what I see coming through here. It's very, very beautiful. So, and I also see here that it's like, you bring light to the situation and you bring the light of awareness. It's kind of like when someone says something, you say something to someone and the light bulb goes on, right? And so that's kind of what it is. It's like you create those light bulb moments for others when they can't quite kind of grasp that, and so there you go. Taurus is stepping in on that. So that's really what I feel. And that's why the birds are kind of flocking to her. It's kind of like it's like the wind surrounds her, and then those that are wanting to more of the light will come to her or him. I'm just kind of focusing on the energy here. Okay. So this is about not only the spoken word that you would find on a daily basis, but also the unspoken words. So we're talking, it's also the spiritual and as well. So that's one thing that really comes into play. Okay. So it's like you're like that bridge between, the kind of like the mind, body, and spirit, and you really help others connect with who they are. And that's one of the things that I'm getting. You're kind of like that messenger of light to others. And that's one of your biggest talents. And you put that in and you marry that with the engineer. And then you get this critical, analytical, technical thinking. And then you get this spiritual messenger. I mean, you've got this beautiful beauty. And we're going to see what it looks like when we bring both of those together. So let's see from the cards what wants to come through for you for Taurus. What is, what you're good at is the messenger of light. What you're passionate about is the engineer. Let's take a look at how you can combine them and what that looks like. Okay. So let's take a look at what that is for you, Taurus. Let's see, here it is. Ooh, nice. This is about taking a stand for positive change. The card that I get here is the Honorable Warrior. Okay, and I'll show you this in a minute. This is a woman that holds, that is really is very courageous, and she is very, very brave. Okay, and what the beauty of this is that she's got a lot of passion, but she's got a lot of mystical within her as well. And this is leading with the light. Obviously, you've got that white horse there as well. So it's really beautiful. She is, she's really about that, that really athletic. She's very competitive. Okay, so that's what I feel. She's carrying that lightning rod, and she knows that she's going to put her best efforts forward in terms of whatever is at play. So it's really beautiful, and I think that she also knows that that she stands for a cause, that she's going to back it up, and she's going to be focusing on all that is the positive. So she is kind of one of those warriors of positive change in this world. So Taurus, you may find yourself actually being that, even especially now at this time, we're really looking into that. So it's really to pursue excellence and to change the world, almost as if that you're doing it through some of your brave acts, your courageous acts that you do in life. And it's really beautiful. You'll know that you're acting on your shadow side if you become more of a rescuer, or you're more volatile at times. That's kind of operating your kind of your shallow side, or your shadow side. But yeah, it's like anything, you're willing to fight a good fight for a cause that you strongly believe in. And for some of you, you might be already doing that right now. So I do commend you. This is what it's really talking about. And you're going to stand and for the underdog when they perhaps can't seem to stand up for themselves, because it could be standing up for any particular cause, children, animals, environment, whatever that looks like for you. Note your comments below, guys, on how you are being that honorable warrior in this world today. We'd love to know, and it's such a beautiful time to be able to spread that. But it is really passionate and being heart-centered as it relates to this. And you really have a wealth of inspiration, for your fellow human race, your brothers and sisters, and it's just really about fighting for that greater cause is what I'm really feel. Okay, when there's a will, that that there's a way, and you just, darn it, you just do it. Okay, really, you really do. So it's like, if there's a storm coming, you're the lightning that can point out what exactly it is, and to be able to move in that direction. It's kind of like you can spot things out. Okay, so that's what comes into play. So a lot of your biggest gifts are your leadership and being incredibly productive in what you do. That might be something that you're doing right now, but you really are about creating change and striving for excellence, and have a strong ambition and willfulness. And those are some of these high value things, these gifts that you have. So it might be beginning behind a cause of some sort. It could be something like that, moving towards and backing up a particular cause, whether it's your own, or something that you incredibly very much believe in. You can get paid for doing that, of course. Creating your own, alchemy of change, and being your own cause, in having your own business perhaps, and being able to promote that, or again, working for others. Okay. So yeah, it's really, really beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and I want to take a look as to some other areas. I want to find out what how you can make this happen. Like, how can you make this happen? How can you be this honorable warrior? How you can make this happen? And then any advice that we might need in terms of moving forward. So being that honorable warrior, just, standing up in an organization and in your work, being that leader, being a, maybe some sort of manager, they're striving for change and excellence, and others like your work. It's, really about a lot of quality, high quality, and it's also about results and getting things done, right? So let me see what else in terms of, oh, this is beautiful. How do you make this happen? This is about becoming the visionary and creating that vision and almost that motto and mission in terms of moving forward for others so they could hop on board and follow. Okay. And so I really feel that this is about being inventive and expansive, very, very insightful yet enthusiastic, backing up what it is that you do. So what's important right now is that you carry that vision. So creating a vision for others is going to allow them to be able to jump on board and to also stand with you for this positive change, which is how you can bring the engineer in you and the messenger available. You can kind of bring that technical and then the spiritual essence of bringing light to a situation, and then you can be that warrior for change. And you do that by creating some sort of vision in your life that you follow, right? And it could be within your organization or just in your life overall, but really being inspired. And what I love is that you focus on the light, but you're also very grounded, right? You are very idealistic and inspired, but you're very technical and can very much so create a solution from a conceptual point of view, and get a solution from some basic, from something that maybe is pretty difficult, I should say. You can kind of create an overall concept of it and say, okay, this is the way that we need to go, or this is the way it needs to be done. So it's quite interesting, and all through this, you have this humbleness about you. And that's what and that's what the visionary has. It's not about the ego. It's like fighting for, like I said, helping others move towards the light, finding that solution out of darkness, right? So this is really beautiful. What is your advice for your path in terms of moving forward in your life purpose? What does that look like? What does that look like for you here? Let's see what this is. Wow. This is interesting. So what I get here is the Rahu, which is really focusing on the magician here. And this is beautiful because this is about you teaching others how to focus and vision the light, which is all about manifestation, right? So it is about, having that concept and then, taking inspired action around that, and then moving forward to manifest and bring it to light, okay? And so this is about being a master manifester. And this is what's happening, Taurus. This is what I see coming through. You're really good. It's almost like being a wizard in terms of being able to do that, and to focus on the light. It's like that groundedness of you and that light in you are just colliding, and you can speak that language. It's very similar to what we talked in terms of the Libra, and I don't know, Libra and Gemini kind of had that in there too. So you might want to check out those videos if you happen to have that in your sign. So do check out your moon rising and your Venus signs, because you might see something in there that might really help you. But this is about being very intelligent, but at the same time very psychological too. Okay, it's like that psychological kind of eccentric side and an artistic side is really kind of colliding with your intelligent and just your dynamic ability to have that groundedness of putting things together. So this was interesting. So in terms of like your advice for your path is, perhaps teaching others how to manifest is going to be very, very key for you, because you're really good at that. And it's about bringing that into the physical plane and shining the light and getting rid of the dark shadow side and knowing when you're stepping into that. So it's like really conducting and manifesting what it is that you want, whatever that looks like. This is really beautiful, and this was kind of somewhat straightforward. So anyway, I hope that this resonated with you in terms of where you're at, because you might want to get behind some sort of cause, take a leadership position, start your own manifestation, teaching others how to manifest. It could be your own business in terms of a light worker or a spiritual side. And it's really, teaching others how to revision their world and how to manifest what it is that they want in their world, because that is what you are. Your talent is to show others the light when they're in the dark. So if that resonates with you, please note your comments below. I would love to hear more. And for those of you that are looking to kind of go that next step in your life purpose, what that is for you, you definitely want to book a discovery session up here or in my description box below, or perhaps even a deeper read for you as it relates to that, for those of you that really want that. And that is my description box below too. So until next time, namaste.